Tensura. The Abyss Demon by Wahab Chapter 39 Rimuru's Pav. I stared at the two streaks of light in front of me. Guy and Milum had been going at it for 4 days now. Milum still hasn't calmed down, and I think Guy forgot that he was meant to calm her down in the first place. He looked to be enjoying the fight. I and the others have erected barriers strong enough to contain the aftermath of the battle. I couldn't help but feel like this battle was way out of my league. Milum's power is so absurd, it's not even funny. I would likely have been done over with a single punch from her. The scary part is she kept getting stronger as time passed. This is the effect of the ultimate skill, Wrathful King Satanel. I was scared of losing the cute and innocent Milum that I once knew. My inability to help in this situation was killing me. Suddenly I noticed Guy's aura change. The amount of magicules in him was explosively rising. He then began to show strength greater than he did since the beginning of the fight. He copied Milum's skill, didn't he? But how in the world is his magicules increasing? Analysis has showed that Magicule Breeder Reactor is a sub-skill of the ultimate skill, Wrathful King Satanel. Wait, for real? I thought it was a skill inherited from Veldanava? I thought? It must have integrated with the skill during its acquisition. Guy's a monster. To be able to copy Milum's skills so easily. It is probably because Milum couldn't resist the copy because she is not in her right senses. I wish I could copy such a powerful skill. It is possible to copy the ultimate skill, Wrathful King Satanel. What? How? You're just a unique skill. No matter how powerful you've gotten, you can't copy ultimate skills when you're at the unique level. It felt like wisdom was annoyed with me. I'm not underestimating it, I'm just saying the truth. If it could copy ultimate skills while still being at the unique level, then I would go for it. Master's will has been confirmed. Using unique skill, Transcendent One, to evolve the unique skill, Wisdom. Wait, what? What are you doing? I mentally asked. Did I really piss off my skill that much? I felt the power of Wisdom trying to run amok. Its power was growing exponentially, but for some reason it couldn't evolve into an ultimate skill. Gaining an ultimate skill isn't that easy. There must be conditions that are fulfilled before it can be acquired. Transcendent One is an overpowered skill, but it can't transcend every skill of mine and even me every time. I've tried to evolve myself into a Devil Lord using it, but it never worked. It shows that to evolve I still needed souls. This means that Transcendent One may transcend my power or existence into a higher level, but I won't truly be in that level, if that makes any sense. This is the reason why right now, Wisdom is incapable of evolving into an ultimate skill. Suddenly, an impossibility occurred. Something that no one in this world would be able to do, ever. The power of unique skill, Wisdom, has transcended to the ultimate level. It is now possible to copy ultimate skill, Wrathful King Satanel, copy skill, yes, no? Oh, are you trying to tell me that you possess the power of an ultimate skill while you're a unique skill? Is that even possible? Doesn't that mean we've broken the laws of the universe? Your assumption is accurate. Copy, yes, no? Yes, I wasn't sure if what Wisdom just said was possible. This isn't easy to achieve, it just showed just how busted Transcendent One truly is. If Wisdom now possessed power comparable to an ultimate skill, how much stronger would it be when it actually evolves into one? Ultimate skill, Wrathful King Satanel, has successfully been copied. My jaw was on the ground when I heard that. If the others found out, then all they've known would been questioned. The others have learned not to use you as a yardstick. Your existence and your actions are unfathomable. I don't even know if I should take that as a compliment or not. At this rate, the world will be damaged beyond repair if this carries on. Veldora's words pulled me out of my thoughts. Maybe I should go calm down Milum myself, he added. No, Velzard and I yelled at the same time. Ramirez looked puzzled. How could I say it? Although Veldora had grown, he still sometimes doesn't know how to hold back. Then there's his ultimate skill, which specializes in destroying things. He may in fact aid in the destruction of the world if we let him go. You don't have to. You should stay here and help Velzard maintain the barrier, I said with a wry smile on my face. Suddenly, we felt a huge amount of energy gathering. We looked up to see Milum condensing energy into a ball. It's so big, it could cover an island easily. If that thing hit the ground, the world would be no more. Without thinking, I flew over to Guy. I activated Satinel at full power. I felt my strength rising abnormally fast. My body felt stronger and lighter. My magicule reserves also started increasing drastically. It must be the effect of magicule breeder reactor, but notice. Analysis shows that if the skill is activated for too long, the user will lose his sense of rationality. That must be why Milum was still in this state. Never mind that. I should focus on the task at hand. I was thinking of maybe deflecting the attack out of the planet. Energy attack cannot be deflected. This is due to the mysterious nature of Stardust. Shit. Then I have no choice than to consume it. I activated Transcendent 1 and Devourer, using the former to elevate the power of the latter. By this time I had already reached Guy's side. I don't know if you're trying to stop her or trying to enjoy your fight with her for your amusement. You terrible mediator, Devourer. I unleashed Devourer. Without wasting a second, a thick fog of darkness emerged from my outstretched hands, which were pulled together for maximum effect. Every magicule in the surrounding was sucked into the vortex of darkness. The darkness collided with the energy orb, threatening to consume it, but it felt like the energy of the attack was resisting. Just how absurd is Stardust? I was frustrated. This energy is probably what made things difficult for Guy. Analysis of Stardust is impossible due to its mysterious nature. Forget analysis, just focus on devouring and isolating this thing. Unique skill, Transcendent 1, is reacting. The darkness increased in intensity, its power further enhanced. My Devourer began adapting to the chaotic nature of Stardust. I felt the energy pushing back against my predation, but I didn't give up. If I let this attack hit the ground, the world wouldn't be able to come out unscathed. I hoped for the adaptation to happen quickly. It was difficult trying to maintain this for a long time. I felt strained. The phenomena has been adapted to. The moment I heard those words, the darkness devoured the attack with ease. I floated in the air, trying to catch my breath. I'll take care of things from here. You head back, I said, not taking my eyes away from Milum. Oi, Milum is absurdly strong. I don't think you can. Guy rejected but suddenly went quiet. He chuckled, HHHHHMM, you can also copy skills I see. He didn't say anything afterwards and just left. But not before adding, it's in your hands now. You must know that her skill is the reason she's in this state. Your power is most suited to tire her out, so don't fail. I'm not planning on failing, I said. I'll have to tire her out by absorbing all of her energy in one short burst. This won't be easy, but I can do this. I have to. I floated gently towards Milum. Hey Milum. It's me, Uncle Rimuru. Do you remember me? I tried to see if I could reason with her. I'll kill everyone. I'll kill them all. Milum's hoarse voice made its way to my ears. My heart hurt hearing her. I don't know what happened, but I'm here for you right now. Calm down and we can talk this. I didn't get to finish my sentence. Multiple beams of Stardust were shot at me. I fired magic bullets to counter them. When the attacks made contact, they exploded, creating smoke that blocked vision, but that wasn't necessary when I have magic perception. Milum's voice boomed like a thunderclap, filled with venomous anger. They took everything from me, everything. I sighed, my voice calm. I understand your pain, Milum, more than you know. But if you let this rage consume you, you'll bring devastation to everyone and everything in the world. Her eyes flared brighter. She lifted her arm, and a massive ball of destructive energy began forming in her hand, swirling with an intensity that could wipe out cities in an instant. The air trembled under her raw might. I know Milum wasn't herself. Her grief and rage had twisted her judgment, and now she was like a rampaging beast, more dangerous than ever. I didn't want to fight her, but she left me no choice. Milum's expression twisted in fury, and with a roar, she hurled the energy ball toward me, a force of pure destruction. In an instant, I raised my hand as I activated Devourer, swallowing the energy before it could reach me. The air crackled with the remnants of its intensity. Milum wasted no time. She shot forward with impossible speed, her fists blazing with fiery power as she aimed for me. I barely dodged her strikes, each punch creating shockwaves that ripped through the sky. I had Satinel on at about 50% of its original capability. I didn't want to lose my rationality as I fought. I countered with my own attacks, moving like a blur. I summoned black flames, sending streams of dark fire toward Milum, but she deflected them effortlessly, her eyes burning with a manic gleam. Her power was beyond anything I had ever faced before, untamed, relentless, and fueled by her overwhelming grief. She conjured another massive sphere of energy in her hands. The sheer size of it was enough to dwarf mountains, and she hurled it with all her might. My heart raced as the attack barreled toward me. I didn't hesitate, activating spatial domination. I created a rift that swallowed the attack into the void. Up in the expanse of space, a rift opens up, from which a colossal beam of energy came out from, decimating stars and nearby planet. The attack was redirected, but even with my power, the sheer force of Milum's onslaught couldn't be entirely redirected. "Milum, this isn't you," I called out, my voice breaking through the storm of energy. Milum screamed once again, her voice causing the world to tremble. She charged again, faster than before, her power swelling as she prepared to release her full strength. The Magicule breeder reactor within her was running wild, endlessly generating more energy as her fury generated more power. She threw a punch that I countered with my own. My strength was also rising as I continued to fight. I began enacting my plan to tire her out. I would use Devourer to siphon her energy anytime we were in close proximity. But it still wasn't enough, her energy seemed limitless. In order to even make a dent on her reserves, I would have to fully evoke the true might of Devourer, without any interruptions. But I still doubted that it would be enough to weaken her. I knew that if I didn't stop her now, there would be no turning back. I imbued my magic with Transcendent One, in order for my magic attacks to adapt and be able to penetrate the barrier of stardust surrounding Milum. With Satinel, my magic attacks were also amplified, but it still consumed the same amount of energy. My magic attacks weren't showing any effect, but I kept at it. I know the adaptation will take some time. I avoided using large-scale magic so as not to destroy the already barren land of Damerganya. De Gruel has suffered enough as it is. I would occasionally switch to hand to prevent Milum from using her destructive energy attacks. Her power was so overpowering that Transcendence was working overtime to increase my strength. Slowly, I was able to comfortably exchange blows with her without being pushed back. Adaptation of the phenomena has been completed. The moment I heard that, I fired off Gravity Collapse, making sure to imbue it with Transcendent One and Satinel. Milum was caught off guard as gravity weighed on her. She wasn't affected much by it, but it still stopped her movements. The explosion engulfed her, consuming everything around. Dust and debris were lifted up by the impact. Floating still after the explosion was Milum, who was trying to gain her bearing back. I didn't let such an opportunity go. Summoning the full force of my skills, I unleashed Devourer, combined with Wisdom, calculating the perfect moment to strike, and Transcendent One, for boost and strength. I closed the distance between us, wrapping Milum tightly in my arms. I began to drain her magicules at speed that was faster than she could generate them. "Rimuru, I will help you." A thought communication came from Ramirez. Slowly, but painfully, Ramirez managed to join me in sapping Milum's power, draining the infinite well of magicules that fueled her rampage. The process was grueling, and even Ramirez, the spirit queen with strength on par with a true dragon, began to falter under the strain. But she didn't stop. She couldn't. Neither could I. The fate of the world depended on it. Wisdom, with utmost efficiency, directed the energy I absorbed into my stomach. I wouldn't be able to survive absorbing this much energy if I didn't have a space I could store it in. Ramirez was bold for daring to do this. She would suffer the consequence, but I'm sure she's prepared for that. As the last of Milum's energy drained into Ramirez and Milum's form began to waver. She thrashed around, trying to shake me off of her, but I relented, not letting go. The predation only increased in intensity as she struggled. Her attacks weakened, and her once violent aura started to fade. It took hours for us to completely drain her of her strength. But when we finally did, her body, now almost depleted of magicules, slumped to my arms, exhausted. I held her tight, not letting her go. I carried her, one arm under her legs and the other supporting her back like a groom carrying his bride. "I'm so sorry for all that's happened to you, Milum," I muttered as I watched her slowly fall unconscious. I gently landed next to the others. I looked around to see Demargania, now a land intoxicated by demonic and dragonic magicules. This land would take time before it heals. Hundreds of thousands of years worth of time seems like an accurate estimation. I can't believe you did it. Guy commented. Veldora laughed. Kuhahaha, of course he did. Rimuru can do anything. I sighed, then turned to Ramirez. How are you holding up? I asked. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. Her eyes turned to the sleeping Milum in my hands. So that's the daughter of Veldanava-sama. Her strength is just as boundless as his. Tell me about it, added Guy. Will she be okay? Asked Velzard. I replied, she will be fine. She's just exhausted from us draining her magicules. Look, she's recovering fine. Sure enough, Milum was recovering her sapped magicules very quickly. Just then, I sensed a powerful but familiar presence heading our way. It was Dagruel. He looked disheveled. I didn't think my land would turn into a battlefield all of a sudden. He said. Apologies Dagruel. It couldn't be helped. We had to find a place to calm down Milum. Milum, the daughter of Veldanava-sama. No wonder my domain ended up this way. He said looking at the dead land that was emitting dangerous amounts of magicules. I passed Milum to Veldora and walked past Dagruel. I know this may not be enough, but it should alleviate things for you and your people. I said. I stretched out my hands, conjuring a vortex of darkness in the sky above the entirety of Demargania. Devourer, enhanced by Transcendent One, began to suck up all the magicules in the air and the one released by the land. I made sure to do it thoroughly without leaving an ounce of magicules. Once done I walked back to the others. The land is too saturated with magicules, so soon enough it will continue to release waves of it. What I've done is given you enough time to prepare for an onslaught of magic storms. It's the best I can do. I said to Dagruel. It is okay. Thank you for your help. He turned to the unconscious Milum. What are you going to do about her? That's what we're going to figure out. I say we head to my palace to discuss our next course of action. Guy said. No objection. Ramirez said. Thus we headed to the ice continent, leaving Dagruel to take care of the aftermath of the battle. Along the way, I got a feel of how much stronger I had gotten. Receiving planet-busting blows from Milum did well to increase my physical power. With Transcendent One, my body and mind had undergone a transformation that couldn't be described with words. Not to mention, the skill I got. Chapter 40. In the heart of the ice continent, where the blizzards howled and the very air seemed to crackle with frost, the castle of the first demon lord, Guy Crimson stood. Within one of the inner chambers of the castle, 5 figures sat, deliberating on the next course of action after the birth of another true demon lord. Guy Crimson, the lord of the ice continent, sat at a round table. Next to him was Velzard, the white ice dragon, her white hair flowing like the snow itself, and her icy blue eyes sparkling with amusement. Next to Velzard sat Ramirez, her presence divine and her beauty captivating. Her transparent wings were glowing a mysterious golden light. Following that order, Rimuru Tempest, the primordial silver, sat alongside his ever-loyal friend, Veldora, the storm dragon. Everyone present was serious, even Veldora. They were trying to figure out the cause of Milum's outburst. According to one of Misery's subordinates who was sent to gather information, it turns out that the king of Ultra Sorcery Kingdom of the Elves targeted Milum in the Empire. His plans were probably to control her. Guy stated. So her actions was for self-defense. Ramirez asked. That wouldn't explain why she went to the kingdom and massacred every living thing present. She's just a kid after all. Rimuru said. Why don't we wait for Milum to wake up so we can ask her what happened? Velzard commented. So what do we do now? I mean about Milum, she is still young. Also Ramirez, you absorbed quite a lot of magicules, are you going to be okay? Veldora asked. Ramirez answered first, I'll be okay. In order to purify all the magicules I've absorbed, I will enter a cycle of reincarnation since my soul has been corrupted. But there's nothing to worry about, my memories will be intact, but my power may weaken and my personality may change. I'll likely return to my original self in about 100,000 years. But overall, I'll be fine. She explained. That's a relief, Rimuru said. He had come to appreciate Ramirez for her help in calming down Milum. Guy commented, I do have to admit, as the daughter of God, Milum sure is strong. Also, what is that energy she used during the fight? I couldn't tell what it was. He asked. That was Stardust, a super compressed form of magicules which could be said to be a whole new form of energy, which is used to perform star-type true dragon magic. Only Veldanava could harness it using Magicule Breeder Reactor, but it seems Milum inherited the ability. The skill most likely integrated with Milum's Satanel when she acquired it, which is why it's part of Satanel. Rimuru explained. Why can't I harness it? I was able to copy the skill after all, Guy asked. Stardust is a miraculous substance with a myriad of special properties, possessing destructive power beyond that of spiritrons and a special nature that makes it impossible to control or counteract unless its nature is fully analyzed and understood, or one has the factor of the Star King Dragon Veldanava. Rimuru continued. You don't have his dragon factor, and Stardust possesses a myriad of properties that makes it impossible to be harnessed. Which is why we can't generate and control it. Tisk. Here I thought I could acquire even more power. Guy lamented. Don't you already have enough power? You can now generate magicules endlessly, that makes you very strong, you know. Rimuru said. Oh dear, that's a very powerful and useful ability. Ramirez said. Wait, Rimuru, do you also have this ability? Veldora asked. Uahem, yes. Rimuru answered. That's so unfair, Veldora muttered. By the way, Rimuru, I didn't know you acquired an ultimate skill similar to mine. You sure love to hide your abilities. Guy said, looking Rimuru straight in the eye. Uahem, why, yeah, I guess. Rimuru had no intention of telling everyone present that he copied an ultimate skill with a unique skill. He didn't know how to explain how something so impossible happened. Now about Milum. Velzard reminded everyone of their earlier topic of discussion. Well, there is one thing I would. Guy was about to say something when Misery walked into the room. Behind her was Milum, who looked nervous. The moment she saw Rimuru, she ran to hug him. Uncle Rimuru. Rimuru hugged her back. She cried in his embrace. You, Uncle R. Rimuru. The little guy. She said. Rimuru suddenly remembered. The little dragon that Veldanava had created using the remaining power he had left. What happened to it? Where is the little guy? Those elves killed him. She started crying upon remembering him. That's why she went and destroyed the kingdom. Everyone present thought. But Veldora suddenly remembered something. Come to think of it. Didn't I sense the guy back when we're heading to Milum? Everyone snapped their heads to Veldora. You sensed him? Rimuru asked. Veldora, noticing the serious atmosphere, gulped. Why, yeah. But its aura was different from what I know of, but it's dragonic in nature. I sensed it rampaging while we flew to Milum, but when you didn't pay attention to it, I ignored it. Everyone in the room except Rimuru and Milum slapped their hands on their forehead, recognizing Veldora's blunder. Why didn't you say anything? Rimuru furiously asked. When you didn't react to it, I thought it was insignificant. After all, Milum was more important. The dragon on the other hand was weak, so I didn't pay much attention to it. Veldora replied. How come you didn't sense it, Rimuru? Velzard asked. My thoughts were solely on Milum, so I wasn't paying much attention to anything else. Rimuru said. He turned to Milum. It's okay, Milum. Everything will be okay. We'll go check up on your friend very soon. If it died, how is it alive? Ramirez asked. Maybe Milum's strong emotions for the dragon brought it back to life. Rimuru said. Everyone contemplated what that entailed, but couldn't understand it. Will you stay with me? Milum asked softly. Of course, I'm always here for you. Promise. Right now Milum needed someone to care for her emotionally. Rimuru replied, promise. Milum, come have a seat. Guy said. Milum turned to everyone in the room, finally having a good look at them. She sat alongside Rimuru. Who are you? Guy smirked. I am the Demon Lord Guy Crimson. This is Velzard, the White Ice Dragon, and also your aunt. Over here is Ramirez, the Spirit Queen. That's Veldora, the Storm Dragon, and your uncle, and you know Rimuru already. Whoa, you're the Demon Lord I've always read in books. Milum's eyes shone brightly in amazement. What the freak? She was just crying a second ago. Mused Rimuru. I've told you about your family, haven't I? These two are your father's younger siblings. The true dragons Velzard and Veldora. Kuhahahaha, hello there Milum. I am the Might Storm Dragon Veldora Tempest. You are now grown up. I still remember when you were the size of my palm. Veldora's boisterous voice echoed in the room. Whoa. Milum's eyes shimmered in excitement as she meets new people. Now then, as I was going to say, why not let Milum join me as a demon lord? Ramirez, you can join as well. Guy said. Rimuru's eyes narrowed. Why would Milum become a demon lord? Isn't that your job? I say this for her own good. She has awakened just like I did, her power is well beyond human comprehension. What's to say that other foolish mortals won't do the same thing the elves did? Guy replied explained. If anyone ever tried that, I would vaporize them in an instant. Rimuru said with conviction. Rimuru, do you plan on protecting Milum for the rest of her life? She's going to venture out into the world alone someday, you know. Guy said. Rimuru contemplated. What Guy said was right. He couldn't shield Milum from the outside world for so long. Milum needs to learn to fend for herself. I don't mind, especially since absorbing all that magicules corrupted me. So you could say I've fallen from grace. Ramirez said, agreeing to join. I want to be a demon lord. It sounds amazing. We're going to have fun, right? Milum asked. Yes, you can have all the fun you want. Guy slyly replied. Rimuru noticed how Guy was so adamant about Milum and Ramirez being demon lords. He felt like Guy was up to something. Don't think too much about it, Rimuru. Milum says she wants to be a demon lord, let her. If you're wondering why I want them to be a demon lords, it's because with more demon lords around, humanity will probably straighten themselves out and stop with the petty wars. Guy added, trying to convince Rimuru. Uncle Rimuru, come on, let's be demon lords together. It's going to be fun. Milum persuaded. Rimuru caved in, fine. Only because Ramirez and Milum are joining. I still feel like there's more to it than what you've told us, but I'll join to watch over Milum and Ramirez. Thank you, Rimuru. Ramirez said. Yay, now we're demon lords. Milum excitedly yelled. Demon lord, huh? That's a fitting title for my best friend, kuhahahahaha. Veldora laughed. Best friend? No fair, Milum pouted. I want to be best friends with Uncle Rimuru. Sorry Milum, you're not close enough to be best friends yet. After all, being best friends with Rimuru isn't something you can do easily. Veldora proclaimed. What in the world is this old man saying? Rimuru wondered. No, how do I become best friends with Uncle Rimuru? Tell me, Milum whined. If you stick next to me, I'll show you and tell you what to do to be best friends with Rimuru. Veldora said. Shit. Rimuru panicked, feeling a sense of foreboding. Don't worry Milum, we're all ready. Then I'll stay with you and learn how to be best friends with Uncle Rimuru. Milum completely ignored Rimuru. That's right, kuhahahahaha. Veldora laughed. Wahahahahaha. Milum laughed along with Veldora. Damn it, I let my guard down. Now Milum is going to learn some unsavory things from Veldora. Rimuru thought. Rimuru was cut off from his inner monologue by Ramirez's voice, so let's make the four of us official members of the Demon Lord Council. Yes, and we need titles. Milum added. If it's about titles, how about Rimuru gives you one? Velzard said, giving Rimuru a smile. Titles, huh? Okay, I'll try. Guy already has the title Lord of Darkness, Ramirez will be the Fairy of the Labyrinth. Then Milum will be the Destroyer. Those are title befitting of you guys. Rimuru said with an awkward smile. Wow, what awesome titles. From now on, I am Milum Nava, the Destroyer. Wahahahaha. Milum boasted. I just gave her the title because of her absurd power. But I can't help but feel like she takes after Veldora a lot. Rimuru pondered. What about you? What is you title Uncle Rimuru? Oh, don't you know? Rimuru already has a title. No, he has many titles he can choose from, am I right? Guy said, turning to look at Rimuru. Chaos Creator, Harbinger of Death, Devourer, there is no shortage of titles for Rimuru. Guy jested. I think Chaos Creator is perfect for Rimuru. Veldora said. Yes, I like that one. Milum joined in. I guess we'll go with that. Rimuru sighed, giving Guy the side eyes. Then I guess that will be your title. Velzard confirmed. Yes, we will be the founding members of the Demon Lord Council. It shall be known to all of humanity that there isn't just one demon lord that can threaten them. Guy proclaimed. You sound like you have plans of recruiting more demon lords. Rimuru pointed out, suspicious of Guy's actions. Yes, It will help a lot if there are more of us to keep the humans in check. Guy answered. Deciding not to think too much about it, Rimuru just let things be. With this line up, there is no way Rudra will ever win. Guy snickered mentally. Now that the boring stuff is over, shouldn't we decide where Milum will stay? Veldora pointed out. Milum can have a territory of her own. Guy said. No, I want to stay with Uncle Rimuru and Veldora. Milum said. Guy is right, you can have a territory of your own. But you don't have to get one now. I travel around the world a lot, so I don't stay in a single place, but I do spend majority of my time in the Great Jura Forest. You can travel along with me, I will teach you all you need to know about the world and also how to use your powers effectively. Once you're old enough, you can do whatever you want. Rimuru said. He didn't want to leave Milum without teaching her about the world. She also needs to learn how to use Satinel. Rimuru plans on teaching her how to use it without losing her senses. Okay, let's do that. I'll explore the world with you. Milum agreed. Suddenly the castle shook violently. The temperature of the surrounding began to increase considerably. They're pretty late, aren't they? Guy said. Yes, I was wondering when they would arrive. Velzard added. It seems elder sister is here. Veldora muttered while fixing his posture. He hadn't seen his sister in a long time. Sister? Ramirez asked perplexed. The door to the room opened, with two people storming in confidently. One of them was Velgrind, the Scorched Dragon. She has azure blue hair kept in twin buns with black ribbons and deep gold eyes. Her attire consists of a dark-colored china dress with a golden dragon pattern as well as white long gloves and white thigh-length boots both adorned with gold ornaments. The other was handsome man with medium-length golden blonde hair and bright blue eyes. He wore expensive clothing made of silks, interlaced with solid gold thread. He kept a sword at his side, his posture showing just how skilled he was. This must be Rudra, the chosen hero as he is called and the disciple of Veldanava. He is strong, very strong. No wonder Guy spoke so highly of him. But why are they just coming now? Rimuru thought. It's been a while, Velgrind. I'm curious as to why you're just arriving now after the battle has long ended. I trusted you with Milum. What happened? Rimuru's cold voice drew Velgrind attention. Rimuru, you're here. Well, we weren't expecting to be attacked. We provided Milum with the best security the Empire could offer, yet the intruders managed to infiltrate. Velgrind explained. The blonde-haired man walked forward staring at Rimuru. You must be the Silver King, Rimuru. I've heard a lot. He was interrupted by Rimuru. Where were you when they attacked? Rimuru asked. The blonde looked pissed that he had been interrupted. How dare he? He isn't even that strong, yet he's acting so proud and authoritative. Velgrind answered, Rudra and I were dealing with rebels and enemy nations that started causing trouble for us. It wasn't our intention to leave Milum's side. Do understand. Velgrind was trying to be civil about things. She knew that Rimuru cared for Milum due to the fact that Veldanava and Rimuru were great friends. I am Rudra Nam ul Nazca, the Emperor of the Eastern Empire. Rudra introduced himself facing Rimuru. Oh, I'm Rimuru Tempest. Rimuru gave a short introduction. I've heard many things about you. How you were friends with my teacher and are friends with the Storm Dragon, Veldora. I have a proposal to make. Proposal, you say? I'm listening. Rimuru decided to listen to what the hero had to say. I and my teacher have always had the goal of bringing peace to the world by uniting everyone on the planet. I still embody that ideal and I am recruiting like-minded people who are able to. I'm going to have to stop you there. Although, I commend your desire to bring peace to the world. Your way of doing it isn't my style. I don't agree with it. Rudra was perplexed, so he asked, why? Your way of bringing world peace is to forcefully bring all inhabitants of the world together. Do you ever stop to think how the world would lose its diversity if you did that? Or how dissatisfaction would arise from those you've subdued? Over time they will riot, trying to break from your control, which will lead to war and destroy the peace you so long for. Rimuru explained. Why would I care for the opinions of weaklings? Only the strong are allowed to rule. The weak are to follow orders without question. Even if they riot, I will easily subdue them and annihilate anyone that threatens to ruin the peace I strive for. Rudra said. Is that so? Well, you can count me out. Rimuru said. He had no intention of working with someone who thought like that. I see you're just as stubborn as Guy is. No problem, I'll just have to show you all just how wrong you are. Turning to Guy, he said, I'm here for Milum. Quote. Guy was happy with what just happened. Rudra probably hasn't met anyone that blatantly refuses him. He must be pissed right now. So now you're concerned about Milum. Why didn't you show up when she was rampaging? I was busy investigating the intruders and what happened in my nation. I knew you would handle it, I was right. He then turned to Milum. Come Milum, we're leaving. Milum, her voice firm and serious, said, no. I'm not going. I'm going to travel the world with Uncle Rimuru. Plus I am now a demon lord, so I can fend for myself. Rudra was shocked when he heard what Milum said. He swiftly turned to see Guy smirking evilly. You sneaky demon. You've done it this time. He unsheathed his sword ready to fight Guy. Don't go starting a fight, you know you'll lose in the long run. Guy said. Guy's strength has grown since he fought Milum. Right now, Rudra wouldn't be able to win. Rudra knows this as well. In the far past, Guy and Rudra decided to use their pawns to fight instead of fighting directly. This was because Guy kept growing exponentially as they fought, while Rudra didn't grow that much. There was also the fact that Rudra was always in a struggle to control, just as King Michael. Don't go thinking that because of this, Rudra is weak. It is actually the opposite. Rudra right now is the strongest human in the world. He can fight toe-to-toe with Guy. It's just that as the fights progresses, Guy will have the upper hand. You say that yet you still haven't defeated me. Tisk, fine then, I'll head back. He then walked up to Milum and knelt in front of her. I'm glad you're okay, Milum. I hope to see you next time in more favorable conditions. He then walked away. Velgrind wanted to walk out, but she turned to Veldora. Veldora, why don't you join us? If you do, I will teach you how to control your powers. You can rampage all you want, but on my terms. Velgrind attempted to coax him. Veldora, who had been silently reading manga the entire time, looked up at his sister. I'm not that kind of person anymore, sister. I've grown. Just like Rimuru, I will have to decline. Velgrind was frustrated that things weren't going her and Rudra's way. You little. She released her aura in an attempt to coerce Veldora. Veldora seemed unfazed. He was in fact smiling. He was happy that he could face his sister comfortably now without running in fear of getting killed. The surrounding temperature was increasing at an alarming rate. The castle was threatening to melt before a cold aura swept through the entire place. Don't go thinking Veldora is as weak as he used to be. If you do, you'll find yourself in a compromising position, came the words of Velzard. Noticing that her aura didn't faze Veldora, Velgrind left annoyed. He didn't even flinch. Could he have really grown that much? She questioned. Ramirez was stunned. She sat there quietly, not moving an inch. She witnessed the altercation between the two sides and only had one thing to say, these guys are scary. Now that everything is finished, I think we should go look for your dragon, don't you think, Milum? Rimuru asked as he stood up from his chair. Really? Milum asked teary-eyed. Yes. Let's go. I'll see you guys some other time. Rimuru said to Velzard, Ramirez and Guy. Make sure to pay me a visit sometime, Milum. I would love to have a spar with you another time. Guy said. Do you ever think of anything apart from fighting? Velzard questioned. Rimuru, Milum and Veldora left the ice continent in search of the pet dragon of the Milum that had supposedly come back to life.